And we are live. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm sorry for the delay. The kid put me to bed instead of me putting him to bed. It took a little bit longer. I will actually share in the end of this video a good tip that I have for bedtime story that will drastically improve your life and your kid's life, at least in my opinion. Something that I invented, at least in my head. I'm sure other people thought about it themselves. But that's the reason I got delayed here. It took a little bit longer, the bedtime routine. But we are back to the show right now. I want to start the show by saying Happy Hanukkah to all my Jewish friends worldwide, everywhere in the world right now. If you're a Jew, if you're not a Jew, if you're celebrating this holiday of light, this holiday of hope in these darkness, we want to wish you happy Hanukkah. I even took the extra step and I am inviting my Jewish friends in the city that I'm living in. They're going to come to my house and we're going to light candles. We're going to light the candles and we're going to show that the light is stronger than the darkness. Darkness is basically the absence of light. And we know one thing for sure, Judaism is a beautiful religion and brought a lot of light to the world. And even with the rising threat of darkness that is coming from many, many Muslims around the world that want to extinguish that light, not all, but many, we're not going to let them do that. So happy Hanukkah to everyone that is watching the show right now. I even found these cute images to show that. Let's jump right in, guys. Let's jump right in. A man, here, let me show you here. Where is it? So, a father and a son, his son, choose to do a bounding activity, jihad style, collect the guns that they have, more than 6 hunting rifles, shotguns with, red dots, scopes, fully loaded. They come and they place themselves on the bridge. By the way, they place a lot of IEDs around that were found later on by the police, and they start massacring innocent civilians. We're talking about little kids. There was a 10 years old who died, and there was a Holocaust survivor who died, just shooting indiscriminately, massacring. A brave man jumps in. His name is Ahmed El Ahmed. He jumps in the most heroic way possible. Here you can see in this video. Ranfield put the video. He disarmed the guy, takes away the weapon from him, but then the guy stands up, they exchange some words, no shots are fired, and he just walks away. I don't know, guys. Usually when someone disarms you and is holding you at a gunpoint, you do what he tells you to do. Something happened in that exchange of words that they had there. Something weird happened where he bluntly just didn't listen. I think what happened is that both are Arabic, and he spoke to him in Arabic, and this hero, this dignified hero, might have even told him, stop what you're doing. Stop, I don't want to kill you, or something like that. But this guy just ignored him. Now, here's the thing. Everybody right now is jumping on the story. Is he Muslim? Is he not Muslim? Is really, no, he's a Christian. I heard people telling me he's an Alawite. I heard people sending me like they're sure about it. Yeah, he's an Alawite from Syria. He's been to Syria many times. There's recordings and video and posts of him and his family over here. I know them. People told me, no, his name is Christian. His name was Patrick something. He's not. His name is Ahmed El Ahmed, at least as far as I know. And is he Christian? Is he Muslim? Is he an Alawite? Let me tell you one thing. That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. He is a human being. He is a decent human being who risked it all. He didn't have to do it. He had a way out. And he went and he jumped and he saved lives. That's what he did. He saved lives. By the way, reports are showing that the police in Australia, several eyewitnesses said that there was at least 4 to 6 police. I think it was 4. Few females and a few males, I think, or maybe it was two girls and 2 guys, but maybe I'm wrong, that stood there for several minutes and just froze. Obviously they did. This is a Jewish holiday event in a country that has been globalizing the intifada on a daily basis, feeding the radical Islamists around it, feeding their hatred, justifying it, silencing people that are coming trying to tell them, guys, Australia is becoming a hub for anti-Semitism. The Jewish blood is on your hand. It's something is going to happen. So this is a country that knew that something is happening. And then comes the holiday of holidays for the Jews. One of the holidays, Jews don't have many holidays. One of the holidays, one of the big ones, Hanukkah, the holiday of light. And we know that usually on holidays for the Jews, many Muslims come and try to destroy it. Well, in general, many Muslims come and try to destroy every holiday in the countries that host them. Here in Europe, they're trying to destroy Christmas, all the way that there was a Muslim man who kidnapped 2 donkeys from the nativity story and tortured them. That's how crazy their obsession with destroying other holidays. We'll get back to that. So the police is there, shooting is happening. Obviously, they froze because we can see that these guys in the beginning, if you watch the video, and I watched all of it from different angles, you can see them in the beginning on a free-for-all buffet. They're just shooting for a hunt. No one is challenging them, standing up in the open, not even trying to take cover, just shooting. When do they start taking cover? You know when? When this happened. When this man disarmed one of them, that's the moment that broke the tide. And you can see his son panics, starts shooting at this guy. By the way, he injured him. He shot him, like, I think, 2 bullets. Then you see suddenly a few, kind of bullet hitting on the bridge there. You can see the white thing, just, the explosion from the bullet when it hits the wall. I don't know the exact word in English. And then he starts taking cover, and then they start fighting. By the way, so this allegedly Muslim man, and we'll talk about it in a second, he didn't stop the massacre. Let's be honest. With all the glory and the credit, and he deserved, and he's a brave and admirable man, he let him go back. He went back and he kept shooting. So for all of you right now that think that one good deed cancels an evil deed, not all Muslims are bad. You know what? Islam is not, it can still coexist. It can still coexist with us. See, there was bad guys, but there was a good guy. Well, you know what, guys? There's still 15 people dead. He didn't stop that. There's still more than 40 people injured. We don't know how bad. There's more than thousands terrorized. And this is just the beginning. He didn't stop that. And not only that, among his people, he's considered a traitor right now. They're calling him names. They're calling him the most moderate ones are calling him light Muslim. In Syria, there's a saying, if you're a Muslim who doesn't support killing Jews, Christians, Alawite, and in general jihad, and you kind of believe in coexistence, they treat you as like a vegetarian Muslim. He's a light Muslim. He's a Muslim light. They don't take you seriously, as if you have some kind of a mental disorder. So obviously, this didn't stop anything. And I know people are trying to jump and play on it. Now, regarding is he Muslim or not, I know people have been asking about that, yes or no. As far as I've checked, and I've checked because people were challenging the video that I made, to me, it didn't matter that much. Ahmed El Ahmed usually will be a Muslim name. It can't be more than that. It's like Ahmed El Ahmed. It's not a Christian name. With that said, Christians and Jews and other minorities living under Islam often change their names to survive. It was a very oppressive, reign of terror. Double Ahmed, exactly. That they often change their name. So is he Muslim? Is he not Muslim? Is he an Alawite? Is he Christian? I said my 5 cents about it. I don't care. He's a human being. He's an Australian citizen, and he's a hero. He did the right thing to stall, possibly delay. He probably saved a few lives. Every bullet, every second that a bullet was not getting out of this gun by the hand of this despicable father is probably another life that was saved. So great on him. That was great. But now, let's talk about the big camel in the room, guys. Let's talk about the camel in the room. Can Islam coexist in the West? And the answer is obviously not. Anyone who's telling you otherwise is a liar, is lying to you, is a misinformed liar or a useful idiot. Then the question comes, why are we allowing Muslims to enter the West? Someone needs to ask that question. Is it too soon? Am I too soon here? Should I wait? If it's too soon, let me know. We can wait for the next terrorist attack that is going to happen. In 3 days, a terrorist attack in the US by a Muslim at a college is going around shooting people. A terrorist attack in Australia, an attack in Amsterdam, suicide bombing in the United States, an attack. Like, how many do we need to wait for? So let's wait. Am I too soon to talk about this, or should we talk about this now? Why are we allowing Muslims into Western countries? They're not bringing us doctors. They're not bringing us engineers. They're not bringing us diversity and color and beauty. They're coming here to take over. Now, before all the people jump in, I know there's going to be John and Samantha tell me, yeah, I have Munira. She's such a nice Muslim friend. You know, I have Samir. He's a nice guy. Nobody cares about you, Munira, and nobody cares about you, John. Seriously, right now. Seriously. Muslims can live in the West. Islam cannot coexist in the West. Stop bluffing us. We can see through you. Either you are a useful idiot that is literally destroying our society from within, or you're trying to promote something. Because some of my best friends here are Muslims, great Muslims. They live very well in the West. But you know what? In Islam, they will be considered problematic. Why? Because they're not following the agenda of Islam. So a Muslim can definitely live in the West. He can adapt to Western values. Islam cannot. Islam is here to take. Islam is here to change and take. And this is Islam, basically. The whole idea of Islam is to establish financial and governing power over the earth. Take over the earth, govern it, control it, and take its money. That's basically it. If you're a Jew and a Christian, you don't have to convert. You can still be there as slaves, as second-class citizens, and pay a lot of money. Jizya. If you're an atheist, you need to be killed or convert. Or if you believe in other religions. And you know how they call that, by the way? They call that jihad. Now, many here don't know what is jihad, and I'll explain to you. Because there's a lot of words about it. Jihad originally, when the ancients translated what jihad means, they came and called it a holy war. And why is that? Because they called it what they saw. It was the struggle to expand the war to conquer the world by Islam. Now, it's not accurate that it's a holy war. It is in some way, but jihad is an effort. Jihad is not only a struggle, it gets worse. You might think like, it's better. Okay, that's a better solution, a better answer. No. Look in the zoom in. Jihad is an effort to establish dominance for Islam over the world. You have jihad al-mal, jihad by money, by people. You have the jihad by the sword. You have the jihad by birth. You have the silent jihad, the political jihad. You have many, many jihads. And all of them are pushing the Muslim to go and expand this caliphate that Islam wants. So the moment that you allow Islam into society and it starts getting number every single time, it will start to challenge your system, to break it in from inside. And once it gets the power, it will destroy your system and kick it out. So in Islam, there's democracy only once. They will come in, they will use democracy only once. After that, there's no more democracy. Now, here is my 5 cents about how this should be. What is coexistence? The only coexistence you can have with Islam is let Muslims go back to their Muslim countries and play Muslim games with their Muslim people. That's the only way. Bring them to your society. There won't be any more coexistence. So in a beautiful world, actually, you will have Europe being European, like it always was. You will have Israel being Israeli. You have America being America. You have Muslim countries being Muslims. And then if you want to go and visit them, go and visit. If you want to go and enjoy their food, go enjoy their food. By the way, they're not the only one who bring you good food. There's a lot of people from the Middle East who are not Muslims who will bring you good food, but will not try to force you to convert by jihad. But let's get back to this video here. let's get back to this video of this brave man fighting. So he disarmed him, he let him go, and now they talk to each other something. He doesn't take him down. He goes and he keeps fighting. He keeps fighting. I don't know if he killed more. Well, because there was many guns there, by the way. Now, here's the crazy part. Meanwhile, while people are mourning in Australia, other communities in Australia and in the UK, Muslim communities, went celebrated. Fireworks, chanting. This is happening in the West, guys. That's how they view terror. We see it as, oh my God, act of terrorism. You know, what a despicable. I'm sure they're all against it. No, they're not all against it. Do you see these guys look like they're against terrorism?
Fresh blood.
Does it look like it? No, they're not. They support it. And the bigger their numbers become, the more and more you'll have them in society. You can hate the messenger. Hate the messenger. Oh my God, Mansour, what are you telling us? Oh, you're a racist. It's unbelievable that people still fall for that. Seriously, I think that not many fall. I think most see through it right now. Most of us can see through it. Our leaders have been lying to us. Our mainstream media and a lot of influence have been trying to silence us from speaking the truth and just warning our way of life. You don't want to lose your way of life. One of my biggest nightmares is that I'm going to have to leave Europe because Europe will stop being safe. And I'm telling you right now, it is stopping being safe. For Jews, for many other minorities, it stopped being safe. We don't feel safe here anymore because it grows in number and it's just going to get worse. It doesn't get better. Now listen to this beautiful story by the survivor from the attack, which shows you the true meaning of the Jewish spirit. I admire the story. Let's hear it out.
All over his
So I was with my son, 8 years old. I pushed him to the ground and I fell on top of him. And then there's another security guard from JSA. JSA was hit in the shoulder and fell on top of me. The shooting was going on 5 minutes non-stop. Maybe.
How many gunshots do you think were fired in that fight?
Probably 50, 60 gunshots. It was non-stop.
And the whole time you were lying on top of your 8-year-old son?
And then I was trying to give the first aid to the guy because he was bleeding profusely. So
Which guy? A guy next to you?
the security guard that was shot, yes. And then once the shooting stopped, I went out, tried to help people. But I tell you one thing. I got these candles there, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to light them up. Because we must light up and keep the show going. We're not afraid.
We must light up and keep the show going. We're not afraid. What a hero. What a Jewish way. Now, have you seen something? And this shows you the difference. He didn't chant death to the Muslims, death to the Arabs. They just came to kill him. He didn't stood there and says, kill the Palestinians. He didn't call for intifada, for jihad. He just shared the story how he protected his son with his own body. There's another story of a young French man who saw a pregnant woman who was shot, and he jumped and protected her with her body, and her kids were crying next to her. Another story of another man who went and basically started protecting another little girl and sheltering elderly. Australia have shown unique and beautiful acts of heroism in the face of tragedy by its own citizens who were just trying to enjoy a day at the beach when a bunch of Muslims came and started shooting them, basically. Now, do you think it started out of a vacuum? No. This imam in Sydney, and this happened right after October 7th. For those of you who don't know, I did quite a research about it because I wanted to make sure this is not recent. There is crazy recent things that were said. This came right after October 7th. And if they loved October 7th, what do you think they think about what happened today? Hear it out.
I'm smiling. I'm smiling and I'm happy. I'm elated. It's a day of courage. It's a day of happiness. It's a day of pride. It's a day of victory. This is the day we've been waiting for. 75 years. 45 years of occupation.
This is October 8th.
15 years of blockade. What yesterday happened was the first time our brothers and sisters broke through the largest prison on earth. Occupation is the crime. Occupation is the crime. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Occupation is the crime.
So it didn't do them very well. Let's be honest. It didn't do the Gazans very well to commit acts of terrorism. Gaza is desolated, is destroyed. Many people lost their homes completely. I mean, everybody knows it was a terrible, terrible mistake to attack Israel the way they did and to try to massacre indiscriminately humans, Christians, Jews, Muslims. Everybody knows that. I mean, he doesn't know that. These people, on a good day, they play victim and say, forgive us. Oh my God, we're just, innocent. We're poor. Please subscribe to my channel. On a terror day, they will go to the streets and they will celebrate. One day they're against killing. The other day they're all for it. These people in your country, if they're not challenged, if they're not kicked out of your country, if they're not arrested for these things, you will have, by the way, these are Al-Qaeda flags. You will have terror attacks in your country. They will kill your people. There is no way around it. No way around it. And I think just today, as we're speaking, by the way, that's a big one. That's a big one. That's a video of one of the guys that they killed. I'll show you in a second, but that's a big one. Here, let's read this. The FBI have foiled a terror plot in Los Angeles, arresting 4 individuals linked to a pro-Palestine extremist group. Surprise, surprise. Authorities say the suspects were planning a series of terror attacks at 5 sites through the city during New Year's Eve celebration. Now watch this. At the same time, in 20 minutes, 2 short, a father and son, 4 policemen just stood. No, that's a different one. There was an attack. These are the people who died. Let's for a second just look at it before we go to the next video. Alex Kilman, a Holocaust survivor, has been identified as one of the victims murdered in the massacre of Hanukkah event at the Bondi beach in Sydney, Australia. This is Matilda Politivichenko. She was just 10 years old when she was brutally murdered yesterday by a terrorist who turned the Hanukkah celebration into a massacre at Bondi Beach, Australia. This is Dan El Kayam, a young Jewish Frenchman who was participating in the Hanukkah celebrations on Bondi Beach. He has been identified as one of the victims murdered at the horrific terror attack. May his memory forever be a blessing. I understood that he was an engineer and he was a very, very beautiful person, involved with a lot of humanitarian activity, traveling the world, playing with children around the world, football and other stuff. So that's what happened when you allow people to kill these kind of people and replace them with jihadists among your country. This is Larissa Kleiman. Her husband, Alex Kleiman, a Holocaust survivor, protected her with his own body. He did not survive. He was murdered in this horrific terror attack. Imagine you survived the Holocaust. You survived Auschwitz, Birkenau. You survived Hitler. You come to Australia and you try to warn them, guys, they want to kill us, and they do nothing about it, and then they come and kill you. Rabbi, also from Chabad, Eli Schlenger, was murdered in the terror attack in Sydney. May his memory be a blessing. Now, and I know there's more. I haven't had time to check exactly the names and the details about all of them. This is one of the activists from the Jewish community. He just survived the Nova party, by the way, and he went there and he had to survive another party. There's a lot of silly conspiracy going around with tinfoil hats, people saying that this is a proof that this job was a Mossad job. How can he survive the Nova party in this party? Like, how can that happen? It must be the Mossad. How do these guys have guns? It must be the Mossad. I'll show you these tinfoil heads. I gathered the video for them. There's a lot of conspiracy right now starting to run, Amok, saying that this is a proof that this was done by Israel. And A gunman fired 20 bullets into Jewish family Hanukkah decorated home in California. He was not caught. So someone just walked and fired 20 bullets to a Jewish family house. Imagine you're sitting with your family, enjoying Hanukkah, just lighting a candle, just someone start blasting bullets into your house just because he saw a Hanukkah outside. Are we witnessing again the days of the Holocaust? Like the same thing? And then they come say, oh, there's no anti-Semitism. Like, seriously, what is going on?
You can do Muslim bans. Wallahi, it's not stopping.
Identify them as members.
All right, here we go.
News happening out of Los Angeles.
Listen.
The FBI now reports that it's disrupted a planned New Year's Eve terror attack in Los Angeles. 4 suspects in custody. The FBI identifying them as members of a pro-Palestine extremist group. They're suspected of planning coordinated IED attacks targeting 5 different locations in Los Angeles. But based on the reporting now, that plot has been foiled. We will wait for more out of L.A. or out of Washington, D.C. for what the FBI has to say about that developing story. And
yeah, one of the things that crossed my mind as all of these stories were developing is say a prayer for the first responders, right? The ones who are first on the scene, who have to see some of these horrific things that are hard to unsee, and they help protect people and comfort people by getting the information out there to them as quickly as possible.
They are under a lot of pressure, too, when you hear stories like this.
We don't say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion was sent to dominate the world. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then
Here we go. Sorry, I was looking for this guy that I need to block. Apparently, we have a troll in the crowd here. So just give me the name if you can, and I'll block him. Bulagiela. Buliugila. Let's block Buliugila. Let's read it first. See that he's really... Yeah, I've seen a few trolls here. Sorry, I don't have a moderator today here. Buligila. Yeah. Let's block him. Let's put him in a quiet room. Maybe he'll change his mind. Put him in a timeout. All right, you got him in timeout. Go and watch. Look at the wall. So here's another interesting.
Dominate the world.
Preparation for the plan, the co-conspirators purchased multiple pieces of bomb-making materials and discussed their travel plans to the desert. Last Friday, December 12th, the defendants took a significant step to carry out their plans. They traveled to the remote campsite, which you're going to see some video of, in the desert, and they began unloading their bomb-making materials to assemble and test the bombs. They had everything they needed to make an operational bomb at that location, and they were subsequently arrested by the FBI before they could build a functional explosive device. Shortly after the defendants were taken into custody, the FBI executed multiple search warrants, including at the defendants' Southern California residence and other locations throughout the country. In Carroll's residence, law enforcement found multiple posters and materials associated with Turtle Island Liberation Front, including posters stating, quote, "Death to America, long live Turtle Island and Palestine."
Do you see that star there, the Hamas star, like everywhere? So guys, that's what I kept saying. The pro-Palestine movement is a terrorist movement. Palestine is a terrorist state. Not every Palestinian is a terrorist. Palestine is a terrorist state. Islam is a violent religion. Not every Muslim is a violent. Islam is a violent religion. They say it themselves. Palestine say it themselves. There is a paper slay in Palestine by the authority, by Abbas. Not only in Gaza. Gaza, forget about it. Gaza is like, a terror hub. A den of terrorists. They pay for the killing. If you come in Sweden or in Norway or in Michigan, maybe Michigan not, but let's say in Colorado, then you come to the police and says, guys, listen, I just murdered the whole family of Christians and Jews, and I've killed them. I've killed their little kids. I've killed them all. Where's my money? Oh, good. How many did you kill? 10. Here you go. Or even worse, if your sister comes or your mom comes, hey, my son just went and killed a Christian family that was on a camping in Colorado in the outdoors in the mountains. He killed them all with a knife. And then he got shot by the police. So now he's a shaheed. Where's my money? They ask you, how many did you kill? Okay, that's how many? Good. Here's your money. So this is officially in Palestine. Now, if you have a country that does that, then of course this is a terrorist state. They're encouraging terrorism. So no wonder that all the people that are chanting free, free Palestine are plotting to do acts of terrorism against American people, against European people. And it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. And that's how ridiculous it was for us, Middle Easterns, or people, peace loving people, Arabs, Muslims, Christians, Druze, doesn't matter, the peace ones from the Middle East who were looking at the West when it was tolerating Islam unchecked, unfiltered. It's like, you guys nuts? Do you know what's going to happen to you?
And quote, death to ICE, Turtle Island Liberation Front. In Page's residence, law enforcement found a copy of the detailed bomb attack plan. This case is another reminder about the dangers that radicalized Antifa-like groups pose to people, public safety, and the rule of law.
Before we begin, however, I want to...
So, pro-Palestinian movement is plotting to do an attack on Christmas in Germany and in Europe. They're literally foiling a terrorist attack every second day by Muslims against Christians. In Australia, they didn't manage to foil a terrorist attack and end up killing people. In the US, in California, they just foiled another attack. But then another house, they didn't manage to foil it, and someone just went and shot into the window. Is anyone seeing a pattern here? Am I the only one? Again, too soon? Is it too soon to talk about it, that there's a serious problem with Islam and it just doesn't coexist with the West? Tell me. Am I the only one saying this? Am I the only one here standing like 1 + 1 = 2, guys? And everybody's, stop it. Don't say that. Math is racist. Yeah, there's people who are saying that, by the way. The math is racist. Some woke weirdos that claim that math is racist because there's different people of color that are not so good at math. So they blame math as racist, and they demand that math will not be, I think it was in Oregon, that math will not be a requirement in testing people if they can become engineers and doctors. Well, good luck with that. Let's see how that goes. If you'd let these lunatics run society, it's idiocracy. If you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. Brilliant. If you haven't watched the movie Idiocracy, go and watch it. Take it, watch it, and put it as some kind of a see-through window about our society today, and you will learn so much. Brilliant movie. Now, Donald Trump came and made an announcement to condemn the acts of anti-Semitism and terrorism, but in the same breath, he also said something that is very, very, I would call suspicious. And if I was an American citizen, I would ask questions. What do you mean by that? Let's watch it.
Just pay my respects to the people. Unfortunately, 2 are no longer with us. Brown University, 9 injured, and 2 are looking down on us right now from heaven. And likewise in Australia, as you know, that was a terrible attack. 11 dead, 29 badly wounded. And that was an anti-Semitic attack, obviously. And I just want to pay my respects to everybody. I must say in Syria also, we had an attack in Syria, and we had 3 great patriots
Listen up.
terminated
Listen
by
now.
bad people, and not the Syrian government. It was ISIS. The Syrian government fought by our side. The new president.
You know that meme where you see Leonardo DiCaprio standing, and he's sitting on the bench with a yellow shirt. I think, what was the name of that movie? It was a Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or something like that. He's like, That is the moment. Did you hear that? Let's do it again.
And we had 3 great patriots terminated by bad people, and not the Syrian government. It was ISIS. The Syrian government fought by our side.
Not the Syrian government by ISIS. Guys, come on, man. Why are you saying that? We know that you don't mean that. We know it that you know. There's undoubtedly the CIA have arrested the head of ISIS, one of the heads of ISIS. He was in their jail, and now he is running the government of Syria. So the CIA knows that Jolani is, part of ISIS. And then officers in his regime invite American soldiers to come for the first military meeting between the US and Syria. They invited them. Hey, come and meet with us. Let's talk about how to fight ISIS. America is getting an order from above. Yeah, everything's fine, guys. They're our friends now. They're friends. I gave him golden perfume. Go meet them. They go. And then these officers, some of them, or one of them, goes Allahu Akbar and blows himself in that meeting and killed American soldiers. So if someone from the Syrian army ambushed you, killed your people, and then Syrian soldiers start going in the streets, shooting in the air, chanting Allahu Akbar, all excited that they managed to trick the Americans and kill them. People started giving baklawas in Syria. Telegrams are literally celebrating channels, media channels, military telegrams. The soldiers themselves all celebrating. Yeah, we got them. We should keep doing that. Then why are they covering for that? What is going on? I mean, undoubtedly, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why they're willing to hide from you the killing of your soldiers in order to achieve something. I'm not saying that, I'm not going to say it's a good reason. No, there's not a good reason for that. There's not a good reason for allowing your soldiers to be killed. But maybe there's a political strategic game that is being played here that is so important they don't want to lose it, that they're like, kind of trying just to push through it. But come on, he knows it.
The new president fought by our
He knows
side,
it.
but I just want to pay my respects to the families. We also...
By the way, that's not true. They didn't fight by your side. America brought fighter jets and started bombing the living hell out of these soldiers who killed their soldiers.
We had 3 injured, but 2 of them are already out of the hospital, and one's going to be okay. But we lost 3, so it was a rough day. But to Australia and the Prime Minister, to everybody that we know so well, we get along with so well, we have a great relationship. That's a terrible situation going on over there. Think of that. And Brown University, great school. Great, really one of the greatest schools anywhere in the world. Things can happen. So to the 9 injured, get well fast. And to the families of those 2 that are no longer with us, I pay my deepest regards and respects from the United States of America. Thank you very much. It's a very important thing to say. And we mean it. I can tell you in Syria, there will be a lot of damage done to the people that did it.
The government.
The person, the individual person, but there'll be big damage done.
It's the government and their soldiers.
The other, supposedly, they call him a person of interest, so I'll keep it along those lines so we don't get ourselves in any trouble, but they have a person of interest at Brown. And in Australia, you probably read it's been a very, very brave person, actually, who went and attacked frontally one of the shooters and saved a lot of lives. So very brave person who's right now in the hospital, pretty seriously wounded. So great respect to that man that did that. But we're here for a different reason. We're here to celebrate Christmas and to celebrate, and I think today we can first say loudly, we celebrate Hanukkah, because that was such a horrible attack. That was a purely anti-Semitic attack.
We made significant progress under President Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I said all I have to say about this real weird bromance that this administration have with the Arab world. And I will just finish with that. It's gonna blow up in their face. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. Their ideology, their religion, the way they see life doesn't coexist with your way of life. And it doesn't matter how much money they pay you to cover for it, it will blow in your face. Unfortunately, I mean, I wish it was possible to coexist with them, but it's not. Nothing in history shows us that it's possible. Nothing in current history or current events shows us, but just shows us the opposite. Like everywhere shows us the opposite. So that's why how crazy that is. This guy here is giving a warning, a serious warning about the infiltration of thousands of jihadists from Syria and other places into the US. And that it's gonna become a very serious problem right now. And I'm telling you, the holiday seasons are coming right now. We're starting to see sparks of it. And I can tell you one thing, as someone who was in the special forces, someone who worked, with the Secret Service and all kind of organizations to counter terrorism. This guy, by the way, is a former Delta Force, I think, or Green Beret or Delta Force. 99% of the attacks on Israel, the average civilian doesn't hear about. I'm not joking, I'm not making this up. 99%. Most of them get foiled in so many creative ways, either top secret ways that you don't want to reveal because you don't want to give them, to know, that's how they're doing it. Many of them get foiled very early stage before it happened or as it starts to happen, and you can't talk about it because once you take one down, it opens a lead for others, and his friends start texting, I don't know what, and you start finding more and more attacks that are happening. And many of them, by the time that it's relevant to talk about it, there was just a bigger attack that just happened. So 99%, seriously, of the terrorist attacks that are coming and threats, the public doesn't even know. And many of them are really like, you call it an attack. They never really had the chance to even form and start an attack. It was taken down. But the intent and the capabilities were there. So when you hear of things, for everyone that you heard, there's many that you didn't hear that are still ongoing. There's still a manhunt. They're still happening. Like when I was in the service, it was a 24/7 job. We were chasing them all the time. So right now, when thousands of them are in your country, what do you think is going to happen? Here, watch this.
Trump's leadership, we have the jihadis of ISIS and Al-Qaeda on the run in Iraq and Syria, thanks to the decisive action and the strikes that we've taken there recently since President Trump took office in January. However, we have a persistent threat from the individuals that were allowed into this country by the previous administration. The number one threat that we have right now, in my view, is the fact that we don't know who came into our country in the last 4 years of Biden's open borders. What we have identified is alarming, and I want to share that with you today. We just recently put out a warning of the heightened risk of terrorist attacks posed to the homeland by terrorists pretty much of all stripes, but in particular from ISIS and from Al-Qaeda. NCTC has been crunching the numbers and going through the sheer volume of known and suspected terrorists that are in the country that came in under the Biden administration. So far, NCTC has identified around 18,000 known and suspected terrorists that the Biden administration let come into.
18,000. Did you guys get that? October 7 was done by 3,000. 3,000. And then later on, civilians followed. You have 18,000 October 7 sleeping cells in the United States. What do you think is going to happen when they start? Because when October 7 started, after the 3,000 was in the same morning, the others had no heads up. They kept it so secret, so the Shabak and Mossad doesn't hear about it. When they started sending videos, WhatsApp phone calls, and calling their moms, telling them what we did, how we killed, and sending videos of beheading, then the civilians jumped in and ran. Innocent civilians. And then it was like maybe 5, 6, 7,000 of them participated in the massacre. And then Israel went, and Apache pilots, my friend was one of these Apache pilots. He said it was like in a zombie apocalypse movie. He said he emptied his belly, the Apache helicopter, combat helicopter. He emptied his belly means emptied all the ammunition that he had 3 times. 3 times on the Gazans that were running. So he went, killed, finished, went, there was like zombies running, civilians. So 18,000 in the United States. What do you think is going to happen when they get there? When they wake up in the morning and they start receiving WhatsApp messages? Meanwhile, they're picking names, they're collecting, they're looking, they're learning your neighborhoods. And in the US, it's not Australia. They just say it that way. In America, it's not Australia, man. You can get some weapons, you can get some guns, you can go to Walmart and get your own zombie apocalypse bunker survival kit against ogres. Like not against deers. You can prepare to fight ogres. So many weapons. What do you think is going to happen? 18,000. My goodness.
To our country. These are individuals.
Well, let's hear it again.
Around 18,000 known and suspected terrorists that the Biden administration let come into our country. These are individuals who, under normal circumstances, would never be allowed to enter our country because of their ties to jihadi groups like ISIS and al-Qaeda. Yet the Biden administration not only let them into the country, and in many cases facilitated their entry into the country, just like the entry of the Afghan terrorists who committed the terrorist attack here just before Thanksgiving, killing one of our National Guard members and wounding another. That Afghan was brought into the country as a group of over 100,000 Afghans who were brought here during the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. These individuals, despite what has been reported, were not vetted properly to come into the United States. The individual terrorist who committed the attack in D.C., he was vetted to serve as a soldier in Afghanistan. The Biden administration essentially used his tactical level vetting as a ruse to bring him here and to bring him into our communities, and we've seen the tragic results of that. Now, that Afghan, that attacker, that terrorist, is just one of 88,000. We've identified 2,000 of that group of 88,000 who have...
Did you say 88? 88,000? Did I miss something? Wait. Nah. It was 18,000, right? Sorry, guys. I'm going to go back here. I was reading the comments here. There was funny comments. 88?
Was brought into the country as a group of over 100,000 Afghans who were brought here during the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Okay,
these individuals, despite what has been reported, were not vetted properly to come into the United States. The individual terrorist who committed the
I can
attack,
understand that.
In D.C., he was vetted to serve as a soldier in Afghanistan. The Biden administration essentially used his tactical level vetting as a ruse to bring him here and to bring him into our communities, and we've seen the tragic results of that. Now, that Afghan, that attacker, that terrorist, is just one of 88,000. We've identified 2,000 of that group of 88,000 who have ties to terrorist organizations. We're working right now, hand in hand with DHS and with the FBI, to run down this 2,000, the Afghans who came here under Allies Welcome, who have ties to terrorist organizations, and additionally, the other 16,000 individuals with ties to terrorist organizations that Biden let into our country. That is probably the top terrorist threat that we face right now, and that doesn't include the individuals who came here illegally through the open border. That number, alarmingly, remains unknown at this time. We're trying to figure out who those individuals are as well.
My goodness, you guys are in so much trouble. Biden fixed you. Biden fixed you good. Biden fixed you good, guys. Like, seriously. You know how hard it is to vet people once they infiltrated your system? Because what do you think? You know, they don't have mind readers. They can't read minds. CIA, FBI, Mossad, they can't read minds, guys. Let me. Actually, they can. Yeah, they can read minds. Every jihadist out there, they can read your mind. The Mossad, I know it officially, can read minds. All right? That's how they catch you. So the moment you think about it, they read it. Only problem is they don't have enough personnel to go and take you down when they read your minds. Okay, so Mossad can read Muslim jihadist minds. Establish that. Let's get back to the topic here. So you need to filter each one of them. You need to start checking if he have any ties to terrorist organizations that can really prove it, that he's planning to do an attack. And you first grab a whole batch, 100,000. Wow, my God, so much work. And then shake that. See, okay, 50, 60,000 fell down that are like clearly possible threats. The others might, be like women and children, and even women can be a threat, like children. I don't know what, 60,000. Now you start checking what text messages, who are they talking, what was their background, what did they do in Afghanistan? And you know, many places in Afghanistan don't have the record system that we have today here in the West. You're not going to go to a village, every village by village, and start checking DNA samples from benches and from stones to see where they were, and from donkeys, from donkeys' tusiks to see if they were having a hubba hubba with a donkey before they came here. I don't know what. Like, seriously, like, how are they going to find out what were these people doing? They don't leave as much digital fingerprint as Nicole in a sorority group in LA, you know, who does a duck face in every picture with the location where she was. Like, these people are not as savvy with Snapchat like we are in the West here. And now you want to filter them all and find out if they're planning an attack against you. My God, you know how many people in these countries want to attack America? That's what happened, guys. That's what happened when you let woke people and weird people run your government and allow. It's like Merkel. Merkel allowed so many refugees to come into Europe, and now they're paying the price for it, like heavy price. I'm talking maybe possibly even losing the continent. That's how terrible it is. So one leader did a terrible mistake, really doomed his people. Now you need another leader to come and do a very strong and bold move to save his people. Will they be able to do that or not? It always comes down to heroes, huh? It's funny how we try to ignore the human factor. Churchill was a hero. If it wasn't for him, Britain might have probably fell down to the hands of the Nazis. You know, so Hitler was a villain. So history always have heroes and villains, you know, fighting and everybody else kind of rallying behind them. And then you have, like, nowadays you also have useful idiots who get to keep powers. And they just do damage. You know, they just do damage. So someone allowed so many migrants to enter the US. Woo, my goodness. Seriously, guys, we're talking about possibly, I'm just throwing right now. Let's go 30,000. Let's go down. Let's 30,000 jihadists. It took 3,000 to do October 7. And in Israel, the lifespan of an active shooter, this is based on statistics from, you know, back, and now it's even more, years back. If someone goes Allahu Akbar in the street and starts shooting in Israel, he's usually dead in 2 to 3 minutes. That's the time that it takes civilians, taxi drivers, anyone to jump and ram him with a car, come with a pistol, concealed weapon, take him down, the police, the SWAT, the response. He will get down in 3 minutes. In the US, usually it takes days, hours to days. You know, they hunker down with machine guns, like what happened in Vegas, you know, with like machine guns on the window and just start shooting down sniper rifles, grenade launchers, an escape route plan, night goggles. They come ready. They come for ready for war. And the society there is not as trained as the Israelis in identifying and also jumping in. I mean, look at what happened in the subway in New York. This black dude goes and stabs this Ukrainian girl in the neck. Everybody around her just watch her die. So solidarity also in some places in the US is not a big thing. So if you are right now 30,000 terrorists, where will you go? New York is a good target. I'm just assuming. Or LA. You know, places that you know that they won't give a fight and that you will probably have a lot of supporters that will live there that will jump in. Wow, the damage that they can make. In Europe, a lone shooter, an active shooter, usually he survives for days. Days. There was these guys in France in the past. I mean, they shot and then they ran away. It was manhunt for days or weeks even. So, wow, you guys are in serious trouble. Serious trouble. Now, I wanted to say, and that's what we're going to finish, there is conspiracy theories running right now, and I want to give you like a glimpse into the eye of wokeness. And we're going to finish with that. There is really weird woke people right now.
Who was he trained by, and where did he get the gun from? And on top of all of this, a few weeks ago, Candace Owens warned us about a false flag attack that might come.
Candace Owens is reference.
But overall, this Pakistani national would have never came into the country, and this attack would have never happened if we didn't have these idiotic open border policies and continue to let people from the Third Reich and fall for more America first.
Okay.
And this is all a fake thing. The CIA will, I'm not saying these guys weren't real and this stuff didn't happen, but they do spin people up to get them to do certain stuff. And how beneficially coincidental is this? It pulls at the perfect heart. Almost
They have lots of followers. These people are literally
law-abiding, gun-loving American
jumping on every conspiracy theory.
Anyways, if you want your social media, your business to explode, I'd love to help you. The
Oh,
links in my bio.
of course.
Survived the terror attack
Oh, look at that.
of October 3rd.
This one is
in
fun.
the recent...
It's a tragedy, but
On screen, you were seeing Arsen Ostrovsky. Not
It's
only
like
was
the
he a
next level of
survivor
stupidity.
in the recent attack, get this, Arsen Ostrovsky also survived the terror attack of October 7th. What that officially proves is he is on par with his luck, similar to that of Larry Silverstein. Arsen also went on some news media outlets.
So his whole thesis is that he survived October 7th. Now, if you survive that, then it must be the Mossad. That's basically what this dumb dimwit is saying. Let me tell you something, guys. Israel is a small country. Some of you are not aware of it. It's 7 million people. There's about 5 million Jews in it. It's a tiny country, very united country. And in holidays, a lot of people come together. So the chances of you having in a big festival, a Jewish festival in Australia, in America, in Africa, in Europe, that have thousands of Jews and Israelis, the chances of having someone that was in Israel is very high, very high. There were thousands of people in these parties. There were thousands, tens, there were hundreds of thousands of people in the Otef Gaza when October 7 happened. And every one of them survived October 7 because they ran away. My city, Eilat, have received more than 100,000 displaced Otef Gaza citizens whose homes and houses were burned, family kidnapped and killed. My sister was running the social working program on behalf of the city, a Druze woman, to welcome all these refugees. She told me, these displaced, they're not refugees. She told me that they were having buses coming with children with charred clothes, burned sweaters and pajamas, hair smelling of fire. And they were asking, where's my mommy? Where's my daddy? Where's my grandma? Because there was such chaos and mayhem. So these people now, if they will go to a party and the party, someone will come and start shooting in the party, there will be, yeah, we survived October 7, now we survived this. That's how dimwit, goodness. Okay, anyway. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to show. No, that was it. That was it. So, to summarize it again, guys, was he Muslim or was he not? Some people joined the episode in the beginning. I will do you a favor so you don't need to go back to the beginning. Unless you want. It was a great episode. You should. But if you don't want to go back to the beginning and watch it, it doesn't matter if he was a Muslim or who wasn't. He was a human. He was a hero. He saved lives. His name is Ahmed al-Ahmed, which is very much a Muslim name, like double Ahmed. Double Ahmed, superhero. Double Ahmed, Mr. Double Ahmed goes around and save people. Good on him. He did not take down the terrorists, so the terrorists went back and kept shooting. So he basically stalled him. But still, for every moment that Double Ahmed grabbed that gun from Double Jihad, that gun did not shoot a bullet and hit a child, an elderly, people on the beach. From what we're hearing, he is Muslim. I'm hearing a lot of reports from people in Syria claiming he's an Alawite, claiming he's a Christian. For some reason, they're not talking about it, which makes you think that maybe he isn't a Muslim. Just saying. Because usually mainstream media jumps on every chance to shove wokeness down your throat and make you not believe what they want you to believe. And if it's not, then they will just try to go around it. But then again, might very much be a Muslim. And what I think is someone like him should be the real hero and role model for Muslim people around the world, if he's Muslim. Unfortunately, it's not, but he should be. Not Sinwar, not Nasrallah, not Ahmed Yassin, not Muhammad Deif, not Khomeini. They're not heroes, guys. They're very evil people, pedophiles, evil, misogynist, wicked terrorists. Someone like him who decides to go and save lives, that's the real kind of hero we need. And if Islam ever want to progress and move towards a better future, they should start changing their whole education system and role model system and having people like him glorified and saying that's the kind of person I want. You know, in the US, at least back in the days, heroes were Neil Armstrong, astronauts, missionaries, preachers, philosophers, scientists. Then later on, you know, they kind of start falling down with Justin Bieber and Britney Spears and stuff like that. But still, they're not jihadists. In Islam, heroes are almost always murderous, violent men. Almost always. It's insane. It's crazy. I'm not making this up. Go check it out. Like either from, they take it from the Quran, from their stories, from the Hadith, all the way to today's, you know, nowadays. And all the way to their neighborhood. Like, you know, in the neighborhood, they'll admire this uncle. Oh yeah, he just went and he killed so many people. He beheaded people. He, you know, bathed in their blood and stuff like that. And it's a very violent culture. And as long as they stay a very violent culture that promotes violence, they will never get better. And if the West want to try to help them in some way, they should use all their mainstream media capabilities to amplify stories of Muslims who don't hate Jews, who don't hate Christians, who don't hate Christmas, who do good acts of kindness without any double edge in it, double meaning, without like all kind of stuff. Yeah, but free Palestine, you know, stuff like bad, crazy like that. Clear acts of kindness that are for the better of humanity and don't involve any racism in it. Right now, literally almost all their heroes are reigning from a different level of racism to violence, some way more, some way less. People like that are not glorified in the Muslim world. Not. You will not see Muslim schools in Syria teaching about Ahmed al-Ahmed, what a hero he was. Actually not. They will see him as a traitor. He went and he stopped another Muslim from committing jihad. That's how they see it. So, to answer that question, to me, it doesn't matter if he's Muslim or not. He's a human. He did a great thing. And if he's a Muslim human, then good. They should have heroes among them that are good heroes. If he's a Christian, good. Christians should learn from him. If he's a Jew, good. If he's an atheist, good. It doesn't matter. He's a human who did a great thing. And he should be role model for how he should behave. He risked his own life to go and save others. Stay safe, guys. See you next time.